Previous videos we looked at the calving environment and the importance of managing that. We looked at the importance of colostrum feeding and looking after the newborn calf, and we've been into the office to look at the data and how the records of the lab testing are used to help manage Johne's disease. Now, it's probably fair to say that Johne's control is a long-term commitment. Probably for those embarking on it, it's probably 5 or 10 years to start to see the return from Johne's control. So Tom, Karen and Mark, for those farmers that are just starting out, perhaps we can get your top tips for Johne's control.
Yeah, I think it's important to make a plan. I think it's important to stick to it. I think it's important to make it very simple. And the other thing is to make sure that everybody on the farm knows where you're going and what the strict protocols are. There's no point in me and Karen knowing about it and nobody else. We've all got to buy into it to make it work.
And I think on the back of that, one of the things you say, you have regular farm staff meetings.
Yeah, we have monthly regular staff meetings where we have a bit of breakfast, and we can drill into people the changes we might want to make regarding the protocols that we've made, regarding the Johne's and everything else. So that's really getting them to all buy into it then.
And Karen, your top tips for?
I think mine is you've got to be committed and you've got to be really thorough with your information. So when you get that information from your quarterly testing, use it. Don't just read it and put it away, actually act upon it. One of the things I do is I update all the records that I've got and let everybody have a copy of it. And then I do have quite a lot of visual protocols around. So in any pens and carving areas, in the brew room and the outside office, there's always protocols about the results.
And finally, Mark, what might be your top tips for farmers starting on Johne's control?
I think it's important to know where you're going. I think it's important to set key targets and achievable targets based on what the situation of your herd is. Those targets might be eradication, and it may well just be control. Additionally, you need to review it annually, if not more, to make sure that progress has been made towards those targets.
And so here, Johne's control has been active for the last couple of years. What's been the particular benefits that you've seen in Johne's control?
I think it's key to how we run the whole business now. It's tightened up all our protocols with what we do, especially around the calf management. And at key points what we decide over culling with cows, and with the quarterly results at least we can keep an eye on them and use them as well as everything else to decide when the cows' days are numbered here. So I would say it's advantageous to our cull cow price because of the timing of when we get rid of these cull cows.
So that wraps up our series of videos on Johne's disease control. I think before we go, it's important just to note that Johne's disease control is going to be ever important. It's very high on the milk buyers' agenda, and there's increasing momentum now behind the National Johne's Management Plan. So before we go, we should point out that one of the other benefits of Johne's disease control is that if you're successful and you get all the control measures in place, you too can become a winner. So I'd like to thank Tom and Karen on behalf of National Milk Laboratories for hosting us today and allow us to shoot these series of videos on farm. And very much I'd like to thank Mark Hickson from Lambert, Leonard and May for coming along and sharing his expertise on farm. Thank you very much.